Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel MBBS with Dr. Ritu. I am Dr. Ritu Parna. Today we will be discussing about the secondary, tertiary and the quaternary structure of the proteins. Let's discuss about the tertiary structure of proteins. The tertiary structure denotes the three-dimensional structure of whole protein, which defines the steric relationship of the amino acids which are far apart from each other in the linear sequence, but close in the 3D dimensions. The tertiary structure is maintained or stabilized by non-covalent bonds such as hydrophobic bonds, ionic bonds or electrostatic bonds, and van der Waals forces. There is a new term, domain. This is used to denote a compact globular functional unit of a protein. It is an independent region of a protein. These are basically connected with relatively flexible areas of protein, as we can see in immunoglobulins. Make a note here. The phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme contains three domains, which are regulatory, catalytic, and protein-to-protein interaction domains. Moving to the quaternary structure of proteins. Certain polypeptides aggregate to form one functional protein, which is referred to as the quaternary structure. The protein loses its function when the subunits are dissociated. The quaternary structure is maintained by hydrogen bonds, ionic bonds, hydrophobic bonds, and van der Waals forces. Depending on the number of polypeptide chains, the protein may be termed as monomer, which is one chain, or dimer, containing two chains, or tetramer, containing four chains, and so on. Homodimer contains two copies of the same polypeptide chain, whereas heterodimer contains two different copies of two different types of polypeptides as a functional unit. We can see this hemoglobin molecule, where it has two alpha chains and two beta chains. Even we can see this in immunoglobulin G, where it has two heavy chains and two light chains. Example of a dimer is creatine kinase, while example of a tetramer is lactate dehydrogenase enzyme.